Welcome back to another episode of Analyzing Defeat. We are on a very special game. This is my first match back in the Global League, as the title probably can tell you. So I actually got quite fortunate with this one. This is a very interesting map. It's actually one of my more liked maps in the current league pool. This is Stitch Monster V2. Not to be confused with Scavenger, very similar looking map. But Stitch Monster V2 is one of my more liked maps simply because I really like the way it plays. I find it to be very varied with how you can do things. You have very good infantry routes here with the Black Boat. I really like how boosties you get with this Black Boat, the fact you get here very fast. Lots of different openers you can do. You can go like early recon for some nice harass. You can go T-Copter for maximum 3. There's just a lot of different things about this map I enjoy. One thing I really like about this map, though, was my CO pick. And that is Kindle. Now, this is a Tier 3 game, and Sami is actually Tier 3 on this map. So the thing with this map, I don't fully like the Sami pick. There are certainly some things she can do. She, for instance, has the best lander usage. She can get a lander and immediately ferry out here and drop off vehicles. So if you want to go that route, you really can. She has good transport movement, so T-Copter opening's not bad with her either. So there's some merit to Sami on this map. But I picked Kindle. Because even though Sami is Tier 3, I kind of view her as a situation where she was simply too good for Tier 4, but not really Tier 3 status in my opinion. I don't think I would have picked her here. I think I would have liked either Drake or Andy instead. Because it's a lot of money on this map, so global damage goes a long way, a lot of units. Air units are very good here, so I like, Andy Copters. A lot of tech-ups on this map as well. Neo-Tanks, Andy-Neo-Tanks don't die. And I like Kindle because there's a lot of cities which a lot of the fighting comes out. All of these cities here, these are war fighting. These 8 cities, maybe occasionally this little city over here in the corners, but mostly these 8 right here. So a lot of fighting around these cities and really bad terrain around them. So I went with Kindle here because I think I want to leverage that. She's also pretty good late game at being able to cripple the Black Boat. She has very good battleships on this map. She really can't go wrong with Kindle. She's just a good all-rounder. But I also picked her for one other little utility that only her and Lash can do. And that is breaking the pipe seam at turn early. Her and Lash can plop their artillery on this city in 1 turn from this space and bust open that pipe seam in 2 turns. Everyone else takes either 3 turns or a tank or mech hit to finish. So I really like that from Kindle here. So you get to break this a little early, because the way the map usually flows is once this opens, you just can flood this way. You can also go this way really easily into the space going there. But typically this is your strong side pushing outward horizontally, and this will kind of be like your little dinky weak side that you have a lot of infantry to. But that's the benefit of this side though, is that you can have infantry flooding here really easily with Black Boat. And Sami Black Boats get that extra movement and get further. So it's extra fierce. So I had to respect that here. Because even though I don't like Sami on this map, I can't doubt what she can do. So keeping in mind the CO is definitely something I've learned to do a lot more. But with all that being said, enough yapping about what could be. Let's show what actually did occur, shall we? I am playing this on the site instead of the replay viewer for once. I just want to try something out, and I wanted to have the varied music, so we'll see how it goes. Let's see if I can do this really. Either way. Nothing super crazy in the opening. Mostly just basic infantry stuff. But turn 2 is where I already see something I don't fully agree with here. You also notice I'm viewing this from both angles this time. That is because I am going to critique me and my opponent here. I think this can be a good bit of a learning experience for everybody here. As opposed to my other videos, which I only critiqued myself and analyzed my own losses, I think I'm going to try to be educational for everybody here. And on day 2, my opponent does this. I really do not enjoy this move. I don't think this move is very good. I think as Sami, you want to get out here and you want to start capturing this stuff very, very early. Because against most players, as Sami, I'm thinking they're going to open recon against me. As I've played a lot of Sami, it's very common for the opponent to see a Sami and open recon. So seeing this move, which delays going down here, I don't fully agree with that. Maybe it's objectively correct in terms of money, but I don't know, man. I don't like delaying this. It just don't sit right in my bones. Now you might be saying, well, you aren't going up here, and that's because I have a little plan here. I have an objective here besides just getting money. But enough yapping about that. Let's keep going. Capture the base. I go for the airport, not the harbor. Because I'm going for a T-Copter opener. Now, why am I going for a T-Copter opener? Because I'm fighting Sami. Because I'm fighting Sami, I think the odds of her opening recon are extremely low. Most Samis open T-Copter. Or, if they're trying to counter recon, they're opening tank. Very low chance that she's going to open a recon against me. So knowing that, I'm going to go for the greedy play of opening a T-Copter, because T-Copters on this map are fantastic. You can get a lot of boosts out of them. You can use them in conjunction with the Black Boat to send infantry flying across the map. They're just amazing. So, move the Black Boat back. And they don't capture the port. It feels really slow. I don't like this at all. It feels like you're delaying gaining the port. You can capture the port later. You want to get out here and start getting these properties done as soon as you can. And maybe even snag a contested one or two. Because again, just speaking from my own Sami experience, most people will open a recon against Sami. I'm not doing that because I got a specific opener in mind. But if I didn't open T-Copter, you bet your butt I would. Immediately send the infantry up here to start working on that city. Send this guy forward. I send it here because I want to start getting some of these contested cities. I want to get these, I want to hold them. As Kindle, I want the frontline cities to be under my control. My macro plan for this game is to get these 4 cities and then defend over here and then slowly whittle their forces down and push forward here. That is my plan. That's my macro. Get these, defend for now, and then get these later. That's my plan. Back to Sami's turn, and they do something else I don't like. They capture that city. And then they send this infantry down here. Getting the city for the income is one thing. But where's this little guy's not going anywhere? What is little Jimmy doing? Put the bro here. He can't capture anything either way. At least put him here so you can send the Black Boat up. This feels like a straight blunder, where this is at least like a choice I can see. This feels like a straight blunder. I don't like that at all. And my opponent, in typical Sami fashion, opens T-Copter. Very, very standard. Day 4 T-Copter. Nothing crazy about that. In fact, I liked their move so much, I decided to copy it. I love me T-Copters in this map. Also, I am now capturing this. Why am I doing that? I'm not trying to get these properties right now. I'm trying to get these properties. These are very safer, easier to hold. I'm more confident in my ability to get these. The reason I'm saying Sami should have been more aggressive here is because as Sami, you gotta expect that early recon, and where's the recon likely to go? Likely to go this way. I guess it could go north, but you're probably not gonna have too much over there. Either way, I think Sami should have been over here trying to get these a lot sooner with this infantry advantage. But, instead, I'm going to get what I want. So they finally unload the infantry here. I don't love this placement of the T-Copter. It's fine. Oh yeah, I get it. It gets this infantry out of the back. But there's not really a good thing to load in here next turn, because this wants to capture that, this wants to capture that, this wants to capture that. I just need to load this guy into it, but I don't know, it just feels a little more clunky than I'd like. I think I would have liked it to maybe see something a bit more, maybe dropping it here to be able to move this guy in the way back forward. Because realistically, dropping here, you're not able to get really anything. I guess you can get the Tom Tower, but I don't know why you do that. Plus, you want this guy to go in the black boat, so I already not liking this. I just need to load this guy in, but again, you're going backwards into the T-Copter. I don't really like my infantry going backwards into transports. It just bothers me. I like maximum movement. And then they open a back recon. I don't like this. For me, this base is like almost exclusively for infantry. Infantry, mech, nothing else really. If I'm building a vehicle out of here, it's because I'm building 3 vehicles. So, I don't know. I think I would have liked to have seen this recon built here. But it is what it is. It's minor. It's very minor. Capture that. Load up. Zoom forward. Me, on the other hand, I don't load this infantry in. Now, honestly, in hindsight, I maybe could have. But I have another plan. Get a little boosty boo. Get this guy ready to capture this. Slight nitpick on my move. I wish I would have put him here to capture the port. I'm going to get this later on. I'd rather get the port online earlier so my black boat can get its fuel refilled soon. This does come back to bite me a little bit later on, so this is a mistake on me. I think I should have done this. Another reason I could have loaded here is so I could have moved it here, dropped here, and gotten both of those. So, a little bit of micro there, but I understand what I was doing. My goal here is to load these 2 infantry into the black boat and drop them both here to do what Sami just did on the next turn. That is my plan. And of course I build another infantry here, because why wouldn't I? Triple infantry. Loads up double infantry into the black boat. And see what I mean? Now the T-Copter has nothing to do this turn. I don't like that. The T-Copter now doesn't have anything to do. It has to kind of hang out back there, and now it's able to do what it wants. Also, little nitpick thing. I think I would have liked dropping the infantry here, so you can get both these contested properties at the same time. Because now you're going to get this much safe. This property is very safe. If your opponent's able to capture this from you, you're probably losing. I will say, though, this is a pretty greedy play. If I did have a recon opener over here by now, it'd be able to easily punish this, but I don't. I think Sami should have definitely had a tank by now. This is very risky for her, having this mech and the recon before a tank. But that's a tank right there if you just don't build those. But I get it. I've played my fair share of Sami too. Sami is very tempting with your mech play. Load up my infantry just as planned. Badabushki. Get in range to capture this property. Because again, my goal is this, this, this. And then defend. Turtle. Defend over here. Don't lose over here. Win over here. That's what I want to do. That's my macro. And boom. Infantry right in line to capture this. This infantry's ready to capture that. This is maybe a little greedy. I'm going to make a blunder with this infantry. Just you wait. And I build a mech. Those mechs are quite good up here. A mech in this woods is really scary. Especially a Kindle mech here. Because you can go onto either city and get a nice shot off at a recon or a tank, making it very scary. And then I build my aforementioned artillery. Now, I know I just said Sami should have had a tank right now. And you might be thinking I'm a hypocrite. But again, I anticipated Sami not opening recon against me. They do have one now. But I didn't think they'd have one earlier. And sure enough, I was correct in my read on that. Sami opening recon is very not normal Sami behavior. Let's just say that. Get the expected stuff. So here, it's rough, right? I think I would have preferred if they just boosted with this, actually. Reason being, this mech in this woods is not doing jack all. I'm not attacking that. Meanwhile, if you had boosted this and then brought the black boat back, it'd be in the perfect position to load into the black boat next turn and be unloaded into this forest, where it's actually going to do something. Where here, it's just kind of meandering. It's not really doing anything. So you could have done that, moved the copter over here, boosted this infantry as well if you wanted, put it in range of this city. Just better options, I feel. Really use advantage of the boost. So I would have boosted in here into this tile, move the black boat back, and then move this guy right here, then boosted here, so this way we have an infantry in range of this city. So we're kind of slow on getting this stuff done. You want to use your T-copters for more than what we're doing. Because realistically, this infantry ain't doing jack all. And yeah, this mech ain't doing jack all. That's just kind of a problem. None of this stuff's really accomplishing much. We're getting one contested city, and we're day 7 into the Sami gameplay. And it's a city I was gonna let you get. So it's kind of weird. We drop off more stuff down there, though, and then they open the recon. This is devastating. Oh, your Sami should have a tank by now. Oh my god. Just... I'm not trying to be mean. The reason I'm pointing this out is because I played way too much Sami. Now, granted, making the read that I'm opening recon is the wrong call in this specific instance. But that doesn't change the fact that you should kind of expect it. Always expect your counter, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't build a tank, I build a copter. Why do I build a copter? Because I'm expecting either copters or mechs over here. A tank over here really doesn't do me jack all. A copter, though, counters the mechs and a copter. Now, neither of those things are there, but in Fog, you have to kind of think ahead. You have to kind of think about what your opponent's going to do, and I know that battle copters and mechs go this way, and this is a Sami, so there's going to be some mechs over here. There isn't, but you have to, again, I don't know that. What's he doing? That's the problem with mechs, man. They're just too slow. I also really don't like this infantry placement. Imagine if I had a recon right here, dude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boom. One shot. Incredible damage. Putting this... What you should do instead, put your infantry here and here. Not right next to the city. You're ignoring what Kindle is good at. You gotta be prepped for that. Or actually, a better move than that is to load this guy into the black boat and boost him, because this guy can get access to this property, and then this guy can get access to this property, and this guy can get access to the port. You gotta be thinking about getting as many captures done as possible. But just putting your infantry... Oh, man. I don't... This infantry movement... I don't like it. Not a fan. He does take a little shot at me. This is a pretty good roll for them. And this is where I'm going to make a little blunder here. Now, question. What would you do with this infantry? What I would do is pull it onto the mountain. I know that Sami likely has an infantry on this mountain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Doesn't have vision of this mountain. But going into this mountain would give me incredible intel on the area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's quite a bit of intel. That makes sense, right? So why the hell would I fire back? I just threw away this infantry for no reason. Intel is for suckers. I decide, no, I'm gonna be Kindle. I'm gonna shoot. Because that's what Kindle does. Uses her massive firepower. Yeah. So I just threw away an infantry. Oh, I am not a perfect player. Yay. And I built a tank here. Why? Because this is going to break its turn. Already, my plan of breaking this early is in fruition. Oh, I didn't even see that they built another. This is such a passive opener. The one time I don't open a recon at Sami is the time, like, they open the most passive opener. Again, I don't know that. I'm expecting them to be playing optimally, and they just ain't. But nevertheless, they blast. They will be opening that pipe seam next turn with their double artillery. I don't know why they didn't just use a mech. Especially since you already have the transport copter for said mech. They move in, and it's some nice vision. This is still a little dicey, but you do have the mech to cover the city here, so I get that. And this is overextending for me to go on this city and shoot this. However, if I had a tank here, nothing to stop you then, because then this can't reach. And you don't have a tank of your own, so it's a little forward. But I don't have the punish for it, so it's fine. I just don't like... I don't care for... Like, why is this infantry here and not in the black boat moving forward? I just feel like we're not using our transports correctly. Take a shot there. Go here. Kill them. Move my copter schlopter in. Now again, I'm expecting an avalanche of infantry to come my way. So I know that I need to get through and get over there with infantry of my own ASAP to defend my cities. And I get myself trapped here. I don't know why I did this. I don't have vision of this forest. I just sat in infantry. Not good. Not good at all. But, like I was saying, I know I gotta get units over there pronto. So I got an infantry to attack here. This to attack either city. This to attack here. And we have the copter, which can attack either city as well. Again, my goal, these 4 cities. This is what I want. Acquire those 4 and not lose over here. And so yeah, recon gets a free hit. Pretty embarrassing. But fortunately for me, I don't get blasted by a bunch of infantry. That breaks in one turn. Now, I remember watching the replay here and seeing that crap and going, what the hell just happened? But, also, shout out to the traffic jam over here. This one I'm talking about. This base should only be for stuff going up here. Very rarely should it send anything this way. If it is, it's completely extra. I go capture that. And I take this shot because I know the recon can't see me up here. However, in hindsight, this is dubious as well because I don't have vehicle coverage up here. And I'm probably going to lose this. So, probably have mains infantry, honestly. But, I keep just moving up. I capture that. Capture that. Copter's moving in. And I just make a nice little ball with units. Centered around my mechs. This little copter can cover quite a bit of stuff. We have this tank which covers the city. And we have a mech which covers either city. I believe I even bait that thing. Nope. I just let it sit. Okay. So at this point, as the Sami player, you gotta assume my units are somewhere. You don't see anything. But you don't clean up that infantry, that's fine. I think I should have been able to interrupt this. I think in hindsight I should have tried to fight harder for this specific property, because that property is very hard to get. But fortunately for me, my opponent overextends the recon. Like, you got lucky before, you got your shot off. This is way too close, and I've got a broken pipe seam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A tank out of this base gets right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom. So I don't like this. This feels like they were blundering a recon. And there's no follow-up. There's no punish to it. The mechs aren't in position. There's no artillery. It's just not there. Also, I built this anti-air really late. I had a copter in the area, but honestly, I probably should have built it sooner. But, mech comes in, boom. One shot that recon. Get that out of there. I was in no mood. I get ready to load more infantry in. Finally capturing my southern comm tower. As Tindo, I think I'm okay to delay my comm towers a little bit. And I just start spamming boppers. I actually built a mech down here. I'm not sure I like this mech, but, you know, it could do things. In theory. Alright. Again, these mechs are very passive, because the army is over here. The army's over here, and they're just kind of watching. There's something I'm really bad at, and something I need to work on, is not applying pressure correctly. Like, yes, I'm trying to not lose over here. But applying no pressure over here, I think that's where I need to really work on stuff. And that's something I really want to talk about. And that's one of my biggest weaknesses I have as a player, is knowing how to properly pressure stuff. I often play very defensive by nature. So I think that's something I'm going to really study a lot going forward for my matches, is just working on, even though I don't want to claim these, again, I feel like I should have fought more for this one. I should have been in better position to interrupt this one. Maybe this one, but this one for sure. But meanwhile, my opponent in the bottom, capturing with their infantry, they just don't have the steady stream of infantry. Look at how many more infantry I have over here compared to them. They're all spread out. 2 of them are injured. They just aren't unloading the infantry they should be. And because they're advancing too soon, their other infantry don't cover. They go in for an attack here, clean up my infantry. But again, they don't... They're not covering them. These are just exposed dudes. This is the problem with all the mechs and the artillery. So yes, Sami tanks aren't good, but they still can cover. You just freed up a Kendo city. And that's a huge blunder. As for the medium tank buy, I actually really like it. The Sami medium tanks, they still demand an answer. Now, that being said, this is a map that heavily incentivizes you to build at least one artillery. And a map where copters are pretty good. So, I don't know if it's the best buy, but it certainly can be good. If you have a well-balanced army composition to back it up. We'll see about that. So I drop here, and I just build up my big, meaty death ball. I have no interest in pushing right now. Oh, what? Did not mean to do that. My bad. I apologize for that. My mouse moved slightly down. And we're just slowly moving out with our forces. Alright, this is where I'm going to do a bad move too. I dropped the mech here. I think my logic was if something comes around from behind and hits the anti-air, this is nice, but it's in a forest. That's very unlikely. I should have dropped the mech here, so it can get a boost in the black boat into this tile, and then up on the mountain in the fallen one. That'd be a much better use of the mech. But again, I'm kind of doing what my opponent's doing and just leaving the mech out here to slowly waddle its easy ass over there. And that's just not how you should be using mechs. Absolutely not. But my army is slowly coming together. It's a bit divided though. Things don't fully cover each other. This anti-air's lagging behind. These copters aren't providing full coverage. It's not bad, but it definitely could be a bit more neat. And then I build my Neo tank. Why do I build a Neo tank? Simple. Zombie copters suck. They're really bad. They're just not a good answer to a Neo tank. So my plan was to send this golf ball this way to help push here. However, I think my thinking at this point was flawed. Because you see, remember what I said at the start of the match? What was my macro again? Get these 4 properties, not lose. We already have the 4 properties. I'm not getting these. Maybe I could get this one, but that's not my objective. So I think a much better thing to do would be to keep my forces here and then slowly pivot to over here to get the other contested properties, rather than doubling down here. Now, will I learn my lesson in time? We'll find out. My opponent playing very passively. He's building up his nice death ball up north. I really like this ball, because this is a scary ball. I do think we could have an infantry hide here just to stall, which is if I did start pushing this way. But then you do have the mountain imps to let you know what's happening. My biggest weakness to my opponent right now is they just lack proper vision, and they're just sending their infantry into the meat grinder without really any rhyme or reason. So I really don't like this. My goal is to not go past my cities here. I don't want to go past it. I'm not pushing in. Oh, so they built a bomber. I really do not like this bomber. Keep in mind, now granted, before you say anything, yes, a bomber is a great counter to a Neo tank. You're correct. Counterpoint, why not build a Neo of your own? Neo tanks are fantastic. The problem with bombers is they die to an 8k unit that you should expect on the battlefield. Maybe because I haven't revealed my anti-air, you think I might not have one? But I think the Neo tank is just a much more sound play. I don't really like the bomber. Remember, this is a Sami bomber. It's 10% weaker. You do have the 2 towers, so, you know, it's like a normal CO's bomber at this point. But I don't know. Bombers are really cool, though, and they are very fast. So I'll give you that. But let's see if they can use this bomber to good effect. I go in with my recon. This is what I see. Was this a little reckless? Yeah, a little bit. But, you know, I have mechs to defend it. You know, if a tank attacks from here, I can go mech here, I can go mech here. And, more importantly, my golf ball now is covering this recon as well. So I just moved it out from the base. So really, even though this is a little reckless, putting my recon in such an exposed position, I'm feeling pretty good about it. You know, I don't see anything. There could be a tank hiding in this woods or maybe up here. But if they come attack me, again, I have plenty of coverage. I have 2 copters, 2 mechs, and my Neo tank all ready to pounce. Pounce on whatever little tanks come to attack that recon. This infantry is a bit more exposed, but again, it is still covered by the 2 mechs and this battle copter. Both battle copters. Go in there. Kill this. Infantry comes in. Boom. Kindle City Strike. I think this artillery was really passive. I get what I was doing, but this should absolutely go in this woods this turn. I get why I did this, but I don't need to protect this city right now. I need to defend my tank. So this was a really wimpy artillery play. I get why I did it. But I also hate that I did it. You know what I mean? But, nevertheless, they come in, clean my tank. Now, fortunately, my other tank is in the woods, so they can't see it. They go for a capture, they smack my recon, attack there, and then they do a big blunder in just a moment. So, my opponent sees my recon right here. You just want a tank. Recon goes there. Throws their Neo tank, their medium tank, into its vision. One of the biggest things I learned about Fog and teched up units is that half of their value is their scare factor. A medium tank loses that scare factor entirely the second it shows itself and doesn't shoot anything. You could have very easily kept this medium tank here and it would still cover this tank. It wouldn't cover this one. But, you know, it would still have the scare factor. Now, you've shown your hand. You said, I have a medium tank. What are you gonna do about it, nerd? So I don't like that move at all. And they slowly are moving up this admittedly pretty scary death ball. This is a scary ball of units. So my turn comes around. I have to react. I know this is happening. Neo tank moves in. Copter. Boomba. Infantry. Attack. Infantry. Kill. Attack that infantry. Kill that. Kill that. Tank comes in. Boom. And suddenly, I am no longer scared. Because I know that, hey, I got a Neo tank right here. If he goes to attack the city from here, then I'm going to smack it. I also have 2 copters in the area. I also have an artillery covering my tank. So now, because I saw the medium tank, I was able to react accordingly. Also, it's covering this. So if he tries to go through here, it's going to be bad news bears. And I also have the mech covering the recon as well, so he goes to the normal tank. There's just multiple layers to this setup here. You know, over here, I'm just slowly pushing. Slowly moving my units. Again, my job over here is to wait. Let him swing into me, react accordingly. This is a pretty scary ball, actually. The problem is, these mechs have nothing to fight. I have 1 recon over here. One little bitty recon over here. It's all infantry, baby. It's all infantry, 2 copters, and a mech. That's it. Maybe my opponent is just being very passive. One thing my opponent should have guessed is because they saw my army, they could probably assume I don't have as much here. They also see the Neo tank. I was very sad that they saw my Neo tank. I remember watching this and going, oh no! That's a bummer. Because again, half the value of a teched up unit is its wow factor. Its ability to come out of nowhere and kerpound you, to smack you in the noggin. But then they built the pipe runner. I don't know about this yet, but I'm about to find out. I remember at this point I was still treating this like a normal advance for this match. That's about to slowly change, as you'll see. Don't worry. I go in and I take this shot. This is a good trade for me. I have plenty of infantry. That is 6 damage to a mech for an infantry. That is a good trade. That's a nice Kindle city boost shot. I don't know why he wasn't like defending around the city. Just kind of left that mech open there. Artillery takes a shot. I finish with the city infantry just as extra firepower. Attack there. Finish that. Go in the mountain. In hindsight, I think I should have maybe moved some of my troops down here to try and capture this. Because I don't see Jack. Again, I do have a Neo tank, so I can kind of throw my weight around a little bit. I go here to refuel. And I build a battleship. A Kindle mother trucking battleship, ladies and gentlemen. This is my other reason I love Kindle here. You tell me battleships are good? I'm taking the CO with the best one, and it ain't Drake. No, sir. Get that 10% defense out of my way. Kindle battleship on a port, 40% firepower. Anything that shoots is getting blown to smithereens. It is one of my favorite things to do, if the map allows it, is just plop down a Kindle battleship. And the best part is, it's kind of a good call. Just look at this ball. Sure, these artillery could get in position to shoot it, but that requires them to go on the shoal where they're less protected. And not only that, they only have a single copter. Now, I don't know they have a bomber. But the Sami player has only seen my Neo tank. They don't know about this battleship yet. So to them, keeping the bomber down here where the Neo is probably the correct call. So, I go up here, I finally clean this mountain infantry up, take away that vision. Because I know that I gotta make something happen. Because Lord knows Sami isn't doing anything. I was kind of hoping they would swing into me, but you know, that just hasn't happened. So we have our one army here, and we have one army here. Sami's death ball is very impressive. But it should be advancing. You want to roll your death ball. Death ball ain't very impressive if it's sitting still, now is it? So yeah, they take me out. As expected. They're just turtling back there, keeping the bomber safe. I did have the base skip last turn for the battleship, unfortunately. Battleship goes in, obliterates that match, so erases it from existence. My vision's a little fucked up here, but it's okay. So I kind of pull back. Now, why do I pull back? Again, I want him to attack me. I'm not overextending into here. I'm not doing that. I built another golf ball. So at this point, I'm nearing 50 units. I want to start teching up a lot. And I remember, before I ended my turn, I was taking this turn at work, by the way, so I was on my phone doing my moves here. And then I remember I saw it. This is the turn I saw the pipe runner, and I, like, smiled. I almost resigned out of respect, honestly. Like, if you're ballsy enough to make a pipe runner, and it's not, like, just to surrender, I give you props. And to be fair, a pipe runner here does protect this city and this city. But these two cities were never my game plan. So I saw this, and I saw the medium tank, and I went, okay. That is a lot of their army. I know they have a medium tank. I know they have this. That's a lot of their army down here. Granted, I have a battleship and a Neo-Tank, but these are much more flexible units. The battleship's able to do a lot. But I passed my turn over. Anti-air goes down. I really don't think I can express enough how much I don't like this move. You have working infantry here. You have infantry right here. Why are we wasting an anti-air to attack this? This right here was the beginning of the end. They just sat the whole way. Now I know they do have this mech to defend it. So this is me. I'm putting like the artillery here. You know, I'm doing like artillery here. I'm moving this stuff forward. I'm being imposing, right? Granted, I don't know at the battleship if I'm in Green's shoes here. And this is the turn I'm like, okay. Also, little side note, I don't know why. Why did they put the T-Copter in the city road? That is like the worst place the T-Copter could be. And then they pull their black boat onto their port. And keep in mind, I have my Urban Blight ready. So I remember watching my turn and seeing this. And I watched the replay. And I decide it's time to make something happen. Boom. Attack there. Copter. Kill. Attack. I see the artillery. Battleship's gonna come in. Boom. Obliterates that artillery. Attack anti-air. One shot. Attack the mech. Attack that infantry. Kill it. Golf ball moves upward. Why does the golf ball go in the city? To protect it from the victory march. From here on out, I am now defending against the victory march, covering my precious cities. I get ready for my counterattack. I have plenty of copters in the back. If I lose my anti-air, I have copters to fight. Honestly, hindsight, I should have built another anti-air here. That's a little critique. Expecting this one to die. But at the end of my turn, we're pretty even. End of my turn, we're up a lot of units. Not a bad Urban Blight. Not the best Urban Blight ever, but pretty good. And look at all this extra stuff that took damage because of the Urban Blight. Fantastic. Beautiful. Ain't it a beaut to see all that Urban Blight damage. So they go in, they clean that up, kill that. Kill that. Another anti-air moves in. They don't even attack with the medium tank. They're so scared of using this medium tank. Bomber goes in the corner. He actually sees... Bro sees the Neo-Tank here, and he still puts the bomber in the corner. Why is the bomber in the corner, bro? What are you doing to kill this Neo-Tank on the city? They don't pop their power. End their turn behind. And I go in, I see this bomber, and I am smiling. And the reason why I'm smiling is because I see a 24k unit, a 16k unit, and a 20k unit. Remember, pipes are always visible in fog. So I know most of their, at least a large chunk of their monetary forces are right here. Again, you are looking at 24 plus 16, 60k of their army value in these 3 units alone. So at this point, I'm like, okay. Okay. Kill that. Kill that guy. Kill that. Kill that off. He does live. I don't know if that was a roll or not. Let me actually check. I'm very curious if this was bad luck or not. Okay, I had to get real lucky for that. Fair enough. Fair enough, fair enough. So I clean that up. I go in, I smack that artillery. See mechs, one shot. Attack that mech. Absolutely blasting them over there. My battleship is racking up kill after kill. I get my Neo tank in position. Beating the crap out of this medium tank down here. So I know they basically have 2 worthless units. Start to capture that northern city. Build a fighter, just in case I need it. It's my opponent's turn. Down nearly 100,000 unit value. Down nearly half my army. And what do? That's right! For the first time, a victory. I won my first Global League match. Now, I know you might be thinking, this wasn't a very impressive match. Why did you post this one? And I'm posting this to show where I am as a player. Not only to show what my mind says, what I wanted to vocalize, why I make the moves I do. My entire early game was centered around the mindset that I'm fighting Sami. I know what Sami likes to do. I know what certain COs like to do. But I also struggle at making proper pressure. This is something I struggle with. This should have never have happened. I probably could have maybe tried to fight for that. I could have punished this very passive opener a lot more. And I also, for my opponent, if by some miracle they ever watch this, which they probably will, but if they do, you could really do a lot better with your transports. The one good thing Sami has on this map is that she has really good transports. I was expecting Sami to build a lander the whole game. Because if Sami builds a lander, suddenly this becomes your strong side. And you're just cooked. You're so cooked. So you can have this base just funneling vehicles in, having tanks drop off here, tanks going this way, copters coming, and you just can't stop it. It's a never-ending cycle of units coming to the front line and pushing you back. Instead, Sami balled their crap here along the cities they already won. And granted, I did the same thing. But in my defense, I was at least trying to protect my cities. Sami's game plan involves around using this steel power to get a lot of cities or even win an HQ. Imagine if this death ball had swung south instead, leaving this stuff in the dust, and only like a skeleton crew to defend. Like an artillery here and like some infantry. The overabundance of mechs, the slow buildup, and then to not use your death ball. I had to swing into you. And then not using the teched up units. Imagine if this was a rocket instead. It was actually able to do something. Like a rocket in this force, devastating. You know, a battleship of your own. Neo tank here. So many better options. There's just nothing. There's no copters over here. I think my opponent has a lot of potential. I don't think they played terrible. But just like me, has a lot of room to grow. I am still growing as an Advanced Wars player, and I, too, made a lot of mistakes. I'm sure a lot of people who are better than me would look at this game and say, man, you played like shit. And I would say, yeah, you're probably right. You probably have a point there. Very valid of you. These Neo-Tanks never even got to shoot nothing. Did you notice that? 2 golf balls? What are they doing? Oh, we're guarding the city. We're scared of losing the property to Sami. Giant meat shield, dude. 24k meat shield. Sorry, 22k, I think. Very expensive to just sit on a city. Because I'm scared of losing. Again, that defensive mindset is my biggest weakness. Scared of losing something. Scared of losing a single property against Sami causes me to deviate. That turn with the artillery, wherever the hell it was, this right here, imagine if this artillery was right here and I balled better. I could have smacked all of this. This could have been way more devastating. But I was scared of losing a city. I blocked it here. These are all things I need to work on. Having better position, using more recons, that's a big thing. I don't build nearly enough recons in Fall. Just not having the knowledge. So even though I won this match, that does not change the fact that I could have done a lot better myself. And to be fair, I had a little bit of advantage. I've played this map before. I have a macro strategy. Can't say the same for all maps. But, nevertheless, I hope you enjoyed this one. This was a bit of a longer one, so I was analyzing both players at once. This was a very fun game for me. I had a great time. We're sticking to like one Global League game at a time just so I can give it my full attention. And not like overstress myself out with a bunch of games. I used to play like 15 Global League games at a time, and I would get like so caught up over the losses. So now what I didn't talk about in this game was that each turn I was really thinking about all my moves. I was giving it really the time it deserved. I was only doing it in a good mindset. And yeah. Like I said, thank everyone for watching. I'll see you all next video. Sorry this was a bit of a longer one. I hope you enjoyed the funny units. I hope I had to showcase the Pipe Runner match. I had to show it off. I had to show off a battleship, bomber, lots of cool units. Shame they didn't get to do more stuff. Hopefully next time we'll see some more cool units doing cool things. But anyway, till then, see you all later and have a great day. Goodbye.